As you can tell by the title, today I'm going to be talking about how everything isn't always how we perceive it. So this video idea came to me a couple days ago, but then something happened to me today that made me want to actually make this video like today. So what happened to me today was I had to get my tires changed and I was like downtown in a city. So I walked to a coffee shop and then I walked like around a little bit. And so when I was walking around, I heard like keys like jingling behind me. I didn't want to turn around and be like, oh my God, like is someone stalking me? You know, like it was broad daylight. So I'm like, I know that's not what's happening. But when your mind doesn't know what's going on, it literally tries to fill in the pieces of the puzzle. And so that's like what my mind was like trying to fill it in as. So like I heard the jingling of the keys for like 2 or 3 blocks. And I'm like, okay, I really want to turn around just to like put my mind at ease because I know that's not what's happening here, but like I don't want to turn around and be awkward or weird or whatever. So I didn't turn around, and then I was going into like the place that I was actually going to, and so I happened to like turn the corner and I finally looked, and it literally was a girl. Like, it wasn't like, I mean, not that girls can't be serial killers, but it was just like a girl that like probably wouldn't be a serial killer, okay? Like, I literally had to make a video on this because our mind always is trying to fill in the blanks. Or here's another thing, like if we're talking to somebody and they catch like a tone or something with us, but to them they're just talking normal, to us we like caught it and we're like, oh, like are you mad or whatever. It's like everything is literally how we perceive it. When we perceive things, our mind starts making stuff up basically to try to fill in the blank of what's going on here. What dictates perceiving things is like what mood we're in and like what emotions we're feeling at that time. Because like if I was in like a high state and I was like really happy that day and then someone gave me attitude, I wouldn't really mind it as much as I would if I was in like a moody, like having a moody day or like feeling like kind of angry or like sad or like down that day. You know what I mean? Literally how we perceive things is what emotions we're feeling at that time. And basically, if you've ever been on that spiritual journey, you know that there's like the universe and everything in it is neutral, and then it's just like our viewpoints and our opinions warps it into what we want the story to be. So that's why people have different viewpoints and different stories of like an event that happened or something that happened or a story or whatever. It's like we all have different viewpoints because of our perception of the actual thing that happened. And so I look back on different things in my life. Like I was talking to somebody like 5 months ago, and I perceived things differently than what actually it probably was. And so like 5 months later, obviously I can look back and recognize that now. But like when you're actually in the midst of something, it's like when I was walking, I thought that I was being stalked, you know? So it's like when you're in the midst of something, you don't actually like look at it from a different viewpoint or a different like perception. Like you don't look at it from different, like a different vantage point. You literally are just looking at it through your lens, and you're perceiving it the way that it molds into your story. You're taking the information and whatever you've gone through in the past, you're molding it and fitting it into that, and it probably doesn't have anything to do with like anything that you are perceiving it as. When I'm making a video, I literally say whatever I'm talking about like 500 times. So like the word of the day today is perceiving. It's the only word I can think of. So I feel like it's good to like take a step back in certain situations. Obviously, like I was talking about one thing, like being stalked and like how my mind was like racing and how I perceived it that way. But now I'm talking about how we perceive conversations and talking to people in different scenarios and situations. Like, because it happens on a day-to-day basis. It's not like just like one time, like, because I know that for a fact because it happens to me all the time. So then it's like, okay, is it them or is it me, you know? And if it's constant and if it's like person after person after person, it's obviously you. Like there's obviously something going on within you and like how you're perceiving things. And like, so I feel like it's like always good to take a step back and be like, what emotions am I feeling and why am I perceiving everything through like almost like a negative lens? Because it's like literally everything in life is neutral, and then we take it in through our lens and either make it a positive or a negative experience. And so if you're taking everything negative and like you're perceiving things and then reacting away and then pushing people away, honestly, when you react quickly in a negative way, it makes people not want to be around you and not want to talk to you. So it's like, I feel like it's a good thing to take a step back in situations and be like, instead of like immediately reacting, be like, okay, like obviously I'm feeling a certain type of way. Is it from my past? Did something happen in my past that's like triggering this? What emotions am I feeling right now? Why am I feeling them? I feel like it's good to look at it from a different viewpoint, from like a different perspective, and then go from there. And it's definitely good to like ask questions if you're feeling some type of way, to like put your mind at ease, because your mind is gonna race, and it's always gonna try to figure out the solution. And then guess what? The solution is always through your perception and through your lens. And so basically you're trying to make a solution out of something from your own perspective. And then when you come up with your solution and then you actually hear what was going on with the other person, or like whatever the situation may be, you'll hear what actually happened, or why they did it, or why they said it that way, or whatever, or if it's just nothing. You literally made this whole solution out of your own perspective and your own experience, and then it wasn't even right, and it wasn't even anything to do with what was going on. I feel like I do that often, and that's why I stopped doing it, and that's why I stopped overthinking, that's why I stopped being so overwhelmed all the time, and like assessing every situation, like every microscopic little detail I like stopped reading into, because my perspective would be all warped, and then I would like come up with these scenarios and different things, and then it wouldn't even be the truth. And then I would maybe finally ask the person, hey, blah, 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 whatever it may be. And then it wasn't even close to my solution that I came up with, or what my mind created to like put my mind at ease. Like what scenario I came up with in my head, it wouldn't even be anywhere close to what they were explaining to me. Like obviously the situation where I was like thinking I was being stalked, I knew I wasn't. It was just my mind like trying. I feel like it's your reptilian brain, because we still have like the native brain, basically like the, what is that, like caveman brain basically. So our mind is always trying to protect us, and that's why it comes up with all these scenarios and these situations and like all these different things that are actually not true, because it's trying to protect us. So when I was walking and I thought I was being stalked, which I actually knew I wasn't, but my mind was thinking that I was, because of different things that I've heard in the past, or like different videos that I've seen, or different movies that I've watched, and like the jingling, obviously it like triggers like a memory that you have from like a movie you watched, or like whatever it may be. That's why it's good to ask questions, because it's going to be something that you've never gone through before, or a response that you've never heard. So obviously if you have never heard it, you can't come up with that solution yourself. Your mind isn't going to come up with that solution itself. I hope this made sense. I hope this video made sense. It makes sense to me, and when I'm talking, I feel like it makes sense. But yeah, I hope it makes sense. I hope it resonates. I hope you got something out of it. I feel like this one was a little bit of a ramble. So yeah, that's basically all I have to say. In situations, basically just take a step back. Don't let your mind wander and come up with like so many different solutions. If you want to figure something out, like if you want to see if you're being stalked, just look back, and then you'll put your mind at ease. If you want to know something, don't let your mind sit there and come up with so many different solutions, because that's such a waste of time when you could just ask the person and get the answer. Like it's that simple. Obviously it's like easier said than done, but like it's really that simple. It's just flat out asking the question and putting your mind at ease. Instead of letting your mind race, ask a question and get the answer. Put your mind at ease. Stop letting yourself like overthink and overanalyze everything, because it's literally just through your perception. And your perception isn't always as it seems, obviously. And yeah, that's about it. So I will see you guys in the next video. Peace out, guys.